Cybertrucks are a hot button issue. They're very contentious, but are they any good? Well, the Cybertruck is a tremendous flop, according to people on social media who have never driven one. So I'm going to talk with Lightning Ryan, who has driven one as we speak.
I'm supervising.
And he is supervising. That's true. You're not driving.
No.
Ryan.
Yeah. I can purpose now when I spooky.
Driving's for the birds, man.
Yeah.
Let's have a chat about what it's actually like. I'm Brian. Welcome to Futuraza. So the first question is, a daily driving experience, how is it as a daily driver? Does it work? Is it comfortable? Does it work as a daily driver?
It's excellent. Before it could drive itself, it was a very nice ride. Nice and quiet like the Lightning, a little bit peppier than my Bolt, more range than my Leaf. Has air conditioning unlike my Honda Insight did, so that's super great. It's wonderful. And then it learned to drive, and so it's been excellent. I don't know how I would ever drive something that didn't drive itself anymore.
There are better cars out there. There's better cars than Teslas, you guys. Unless you like any kind of autonomy, in which case in the US, there really isn't. Now, Ryan did own a Ford Lightning. How was that?
The Blue Cruise is great on the freeway, pretty comparable. Mine didn't do lane changes, but that was a later update. Blue Cruise next version did lane changes. I got to try that out on the Mach-E once. It changed lanes, fairly competent on the freeways. You also used it on surface streets, but I've got this, one big wide sweeping corner with a stoplight in the middle at a weird angle, and it could never figure it out. So
now we made a video of the Blue Cruise. It did good. It did fine. It wasn't great. It wasn't
the freeway.
On the freeway. It wasn't as good as Autopilot, which is free, but it was fine. How was the Lightning as a truck, though, as a driver?
Super great.
Yeah.
Very tight. It was a great truck. Towed like there was nothing there.
It was the best truck I had ever driven until I drove a Cybertruck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Steer by wire. How do you like it?
Yeah, that is impossible to describe it. It's just it's most jarring when you get back into a traditional steering car and you nearly miss the first corner. Because the steering is broken, you have to hand over hand, and yeah, it's just tight, quick, nimble. It feels like a little go-kart. It doesn't make any sense, right? You just have to go take a test drive, because it's until you do it,
How long did it take to get used to the steer by wire with the variable steering and the rear steering and all that?
About 5 seconds. So it's like there's nothing to learn. It's you point and shoot, and you very quickly realize where you're pointing and shooting, right? I had some people that drove it that very taken aback, right? But maybe they didn't realize that it was a tighter steering ratio, and so they cranked it, and it slaloms. Like, holy shit. But
once you do that.
But once you do it, you're like, oh, okay, well. Yeah.
So the thing is, I've seen people say that with VR, they couldn't get used to it because it was unnatural. But with VR, you're trying to mimic something that's natural.
Yeah.
And driving is already unnatural. Steering is already unnatural. So it's just remapping of the brain just a little bit. I found it also a minute or two to get used to, and then one goof a little later where I oversteered and I was like, oh, right, got it. And I did that in a parking lot, because at high speed, you don't oversteer. At high speed, it steers like you would expect it to. Yeah. Have you used it for truck stuff?
For truck stuff. Is quarter mile drag racing truck stuff?
Can be.
So first week did that. Cut the best time at 10.94 second quarter mile at only 114, so they haven't lifted the 130 mile an hour governor. I'm still waiting for that. Then later that week, went to the Moses Lake sand dunes. Sand dune drag raced my buddy in his Lightning. He kicked my butt because I didn't want to drop my tire pressure to like the 15 psi he was doing in his Lightning. I wanted to go home that night.
Didn't you go viral for that?
I think so. Yes. The Lightning kicking my butt went viral. Oh my God, look at the piece
Where
of
was
junk.
where-
I can't believe this lightning kicked its butt. It's like, that was me. My tire pressure wasn't. I
Where was
knew
the
I was
nearest
losing.
tire shop?
No idea.
Impossibly far.
And these are a funny rim and a weird tire. I'm not sure you'd pull it off the shelf.
I don't think you would. Have you towed?
Yes. Towed a sandrail out to the dunes that day. Barely knew it was there. Towed a White Zombie, John Whalen's drag race electric Datsun, to the Greenwood Classic Car Show in Seattle the year prior with the Lightning, and then with this one, and it's like a freaking dream. You don't even know it's there.
Well, but surely the trailer hitch broke off. You cracked the whole frame, right?
Not yet.
No.
I've yet to drop the truck 7 feet onto the hitch. So when I do that, we'll see.
So it's rated for 11,000 pounds, but it's not rated for 11,000 pounds at the ton. That is not how the rating works.
No.
Normally, if you're going to drive with old,
Tongue weight is 1,150 pounds. If you use the 10% rule, then we're good for 100,000 pound trailer, I think. If it breaks at 10K
yeah,
and you use the 10% rule, I think you shouldn't expect it to break until you get to a 100,000 pound trailer. I'm not sure how that maths, but
I wonder what the actual force you could do. Well, because I'm sure it's measured in tractor pulls.
Yeah,
Why didn't it break in the tractor pulls, you guys?
Because there's no tongue weight on a tractor sled.
Right.
0 tongue weight.
Right.
That's all pull.
Ridiculous.
It's a different direction.
Very ridiculous. So in terms of your payload capacity, for anything you've hauled, the weight was...
Yeah, I was getting half of a pallet of pavers from Home Depot.
Oh, wow.
For a place. And so when I counted, they had, I don't know, they're the big 1.5 pavers. I mean, it's just 42 of them. I don't know, we're at 1,500 pounds-ish or something out of the 2,500 of payload. And it was all that they had on the pallet. And so I asked the guy, hey, can you just get a forklift and drive this out to the loading zone and just drop it in the bed? And they did. And so the guy drives out with a forklift. I'm like, yeah, just drop it in the bed. Are you sure? It's like, yeah, just put, here, let me get the stuff out. Yeah, just drop it in there. So it was really fun. First time I dropped a pallet of approaching a ton in the bed, to see it squat 3 inches and then a couple seconds later, and level back out. That was pretty impressive.
Does the attention you get in the truck get overwhelming at times?
So like electric cars have kind of been my jam since before Tesla existed. So
as a reminder, if you'd like to see some magic, I'll put a clip or two up on the screen. Ryan drove from the Pacific Northwest down to LAX to drive the GM EV1, of which they had 2 for rent at the Los Angeles International Airport. He's kind of a EV nut.
Kind of.
I think it's safe to say.
A little bit.
So the attention factor?
So, normally being an introvert, people exhaust me, except when you're talking about stuff that you like, then I go a little overboard probably sometimes. Maybe a little bit, kind of, sort of tight it. So I don't mind if it's talking about the cars and giving people rides. And,
so
hey, can I sit in it? Yeah, sure.
Yeah. What's your take on the interior?
Very minimalist, and it's fine.
Yeah, big old spaceship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, form should follow function, so if the function is for a reason, right? Like the vents, for programmable vents. You don't need vents and parts and pieces and stuff, so makes sense, right? Button, you can't reprogram physical buttons, so yeah, do it all here. Yeah.
And if you really need physical buttons, there's the sexy buttons.
They don't do those for the truck yet.
They don't do them for the truck yet. They got to get them mapped.
Yes. It's a different bus.
Yeah, it's a completely different protocol.
But as soon as they do, some sexy buttons for the truck. Come on.
So what's your favorite feature of the vehicle? Like if someone said, what is the one thing about this truck that's irreplaceable?
I don't know.
Is it the FSD?
That's tough. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, but that's not just the truck. All the cars, all the Teslas do that. That is a pretty good one.
Well, I guess a better question would be, what Cybertruck features do you hope to see introduced across the other makes of the
The-
models of the
I think
brand?
the by wire is going to be crazy. I think I don't know. I think the Cyber Cab with no wheel, all I got to do is take this unit right here, unbolt it, and put it in the front of the Cyber Cab. Bam, you've got a steering wheel, right? It's like they've already built it. It's right here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. By wire is really cool. I don't know.
What?
Super fast. It's just awesome.
Yeah.
All the things.
It.
It's hard to, I don't know. Come take a drive.
Come
Button
take a drive.
seats.
I've had people tell me, "Oh yeah, I bet you wouldn't, do what I say." You know what? Next time you're in town, that never gets old.
That's kind of fun.
Next time you're driving through, I'm on one of the most major interstates in the country. Let me know you're in town. I'll come up. We'll go for a spin. I do that. That's the thing I do.
Absolutely.
Fans will tell you. Of whom, in our little convoy, we're going out to do some off-roading today. In our little convoy, we're at the supercharger. We bump into some other people who are heading down, and I'm like, "Oh, Ryan, this is Lark and Bree. They came to my friend's giving party, and then I went to Christmas at their house." So, old friends, new friends, it's friends all around, really. Any features that you discovered later that you didn't expect that were there the whole time that you just kind of loved?
I think so. You showed me the navigation in the search button. If you just swipe it, it will pick home or work.
Yes.
Right? And there's like just all kinds of Easter eggs like that that are just really simple, like the voice commands, right? Like disable HOV, turns off the HOV access.
Wow. I
Enable HOV,
learned something new.
turns on the HOV use. I need to turn that back on. Disable HOV. So like I think like you can, wipers off. Turn the wipers off, right?
You know about the windshield wiper blade moving at 30 miles an hour?
Yes.
Very, very clever. At 30 miles an hour, the wiper blade
Aerodynamic
moves in just like
optimization.
2%. That just adds. Never gets old. See how pale I went?
Sorry.
No, it's
Highly recommend go for the beast.
well, we had to pass. We had to catch up.
Yeah, we need to keep up with the convoy.
There I am. Okay, I returned my color to the shirt. Very, very silly. What also another nice benefit is in the bed you can add all kinds of utility because they have the tracks.
The L tracks.
C
track.
Senor.
Oh, L tracks.
C L tracks.
Right. Yes, those are really cool. I got ones that are like quick release button loops. From an off-road store, the L track is a standard thing. So yeah, there's accessories for the L track. The L tracks are cool, right?
All right. So what would you improve?
What?
V2 of the Cybertruck is coming up. They want Ryan's input. What do we need to add?
We would do a blanking on the name of it. The rear bed wall center gate.
Oh, midgate.
Midgate plus third row hidden so that the front of the bed where the air compressor stuff is, like optimize that somewhere else.
Rumble.
Jump seats pop up
Jump seats.
and the midgate drops down third row. Boom, 7-seater.
Boy,
Yeah.
that would be.
You just duck underneath the tonneau cover. It's closed anyway. It's nearly a part of the cab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit more range, of course. Everyone.
A little more range.
With line.
Everyone loves more range, but I mean the superchargers got things covered pretty much.
But what about other little features? Power in the front.
I'd like more cup holders.
More cup holders.
So the Lightning
Too
had
expensive. The best cup holders, no cup holder.
yeah. The Lightning had rear seat cup holders at the back of the center console, which are very handy for the people in the front seat as well. And sometimes you want another cup holder. What else? Sentry mode. Let us pick how long to record the recording loop. Like 24
Sure.
hours, 48 hours, 72 hours. Like there's space on the thumb drive. It's always recording for 1 hour and then it loops. Just let us extend that. Sometimes Sentry mode doesn't catch a clip But if you catch it the next day and you told it to record 2 days, go back and find it. Easy peasy.
So Ryan also has ring cameras on his truck because you got to inside and out. So if someone were to show up on his Sentry Cam, he can talk to them. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a little intercom system sometimes. Yeah. My wife might pop in from the rear seat or from the rear row. She likes to do that. Hello. Any moment now when you least expect it.
How do you feel about the Cybertruck's place in the evolving EV and truck market? Because I would say that each of the trucks kind of goes after a different market.
Sure, yeah.
Rivian likes to be, let's say, middle management adventure.
I don't know. Jeep was honking at us.
Could mean anything.
Could mean.
Because, the Rivian goes after a certain market. The Ford and I'd say the Silverado and the Lightning go for
traditional contractor.
Sure.
All your accessories still fit.
The Hummer goes for, frankly, I have no idea.
Yep.
I've met a couple of them. They were all kinds of people. So I don't know who that market is. What do you see the Cybertruck's place in that being?
I think like the platform beats the others in a lot of the aspects. I think the styling is what kind of kills people. They either like it or don't like the looks of the thing. I think like the practicality of the stainless, right, is super durable, right, which is a thing that you would want in a truck. But people really have a hard time getting over the looks. And I'm wondering if they made like the F-150 look-alike wrap that you've maybe seen, which is the craziest optical illusion I've ever seen. They should make that as standard, and maybe that would help alleviate the looks. Get the, the traditional light.
I see. 20 minutes out.
Well, 5 minutes to the FBI road? Uh-oh. That sounds dubious.
By the way, folks, we are in the heart of Sasquatch country. So if you're ever going to see a Sasquatch, and you are not, this is as good a place as any. So
see how the Starlink is faring.
They are.
I have no cellular, which is what I expected. No cellular. I'm not sure when we lost the cellular, but we're gonna give it a second to actually
switch over there.
I need to connect to the Wi-Fi.
So pale.
Yes, that one. Connect to the Wi-Fi.
And the last thing I want to ask about is, road trips, man. Range anxiety. It can't be done. You cannot do a road trip in an electric car, let alone a Cybertruck. How far have you gone from Seattle?
To Chicago twice.
And not just Chicago, but Chicago and then a couple hours.
Well, yeah, it's roughly equivalent to Chicago.
Okay.
But, one shot, no stops.
Oh, well.
LA.
Other than charging.
What? Yes, other than charging.
LA twice, Chicago twice.
Chicago twice, LA twice. Chicago once without FSD, before FSD, and then after. Game changer.
Game changer. So, not that far. Not the Arctic Circle, where for anyone who followed that adventure, they know I have gone. Well, a cardboard cutout of my head. So.
Yes.
And I was in both trucks. So, that really means I've got the real edge on the adventure. Guys, in the comments, what do we miss? What do we misunderstand? What should we ask Lightning Ryan to fill us in on? Because surely there will be something we missed. I'm holding the camera crooked like we're on a roller coaster. And the gimbal's doing its best to just stay level. So yeah, what do we miss? What do we misunderstand? Leave it. By the way, please subscribe because the subscriber count is stagnated. I haven't hit 70,000. I hit 69,420 a while back, and it just slowed off. If I hit 100,000, I will stop begging, I promise. But that's the cutoff for respect from people outside of the Tesla community. Inside the Tesla community, I get all the love and respect and disrespect I can handle in the comments. Boy, we're climbing a hill, aren't we?
We are.
So everybody else, like, subscribe, and stay tuned. Stay tuned. And remember that I cannot wait to hear from you clever robots, I suppose, in the comments.